Back in the, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets. Just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she sliding.
What up, internet? Who you are, where you be, where you at, what you see. This is Pop Cult Parent, and Happy New Year to all of you. It's that time again. It's time for our top 10 of the previous year. We're going to do our top 10 of 2022. We're happy you guys are here. Happy you made it through the new year. I'm one of your hosts, Mark M.F. Jones, and I'm joined by...
This is Niels R.Y., a.k.a. No, it's just dumb.
And this is Shannon, a.k.a. Two Kids.
Hey, welcome back, Shannon Smith.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Shannon, we happy to have you back, man. How is life as a father of two now?
It's wild, man. It's wild. I feel like it's a little seesaw. They decide to take turns. Like, I'm gonna be off the chain today. You be off the chain tomorrow. You know, luckily we don't hit them both at once, but we gonna keep them guessing.
You know, man, congratulations, man. We're glad you're here. We're glad you are up using your precious sleep hours to talk about silly movies and TV shows. So thank you, Shannon. We appreciate it.
No problem. But yeah, no, it's so great to be back. Pop Cult fam, if you haven't guessed yet, we now have two kids in the household. We've got Luke, as you've definitely heard so much about, and then we've got our new addition named Miles. So yeah, we're here.
Congratulations, man. Good to have you back. But yeah, you know, this is one of our, I don't know, statistically most listened to episodes, but I think it's one of our most anticipated episodes through our fandom, to see what was our top 10, you know, pop culture things, TV, books, TV shows, all that good stuff. And we're just going to get into it. Nels, you have the rules of how we're going to conduct this, and we'll just get started.
All right. So here at Pop Cult, we approach lists in a very unique way. What we'll do is each of us will go through our lists from 10 all the way down to 1. We'll ideally try not to interrupt each other. And then after we go through a list, we'll go over our honorable mentions. Once everybody shares their list, we'll look and see which ones we have in common. And we'll talk specifically about those ones that are in common. And then, of course, we'll spend some more time on those that are the number ones and, you know, any fun, cool, interesting thing that comes up from the list and from the stuff that we have on the list. And again, as a reminder, Mark said it, but this is not just exclusive to movies. This includes TV shows, books, anything in the spectrum of pop culture is essentially a part of this list. So, yeah, man.
All right.
Cool. Should we jump in?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Shannon,
all right. Shannon, we turn it to you.
All right. Let's do this. So I'm going to go down, and I'm going from 10 to 1. We'll say I have them rank ordered. We'll see. But basically rank order here. So at number 10, my top 10 of 2022. Number 10, I have Untold, The Rise and Fall of An-One. It was on Netflix. It brought back so many memories. Number 9, I have Bel-Air on Peacock, the new Fresh Prince remake. Number 8, I have The Walking Dead season 11. Number 7, I have Southside. I believe this was season 2. Southside, a great show on HBO Max. Number 6, I have Abbott Elementary, whichever season this was, the most recent. Number 5, I have The Batman. Number 4, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Number 3, Origin, which is a book by Dan Brown. If you're familiar, Dan Brown is Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code, all of that. But yeah, this was by Dan Brown. The book was actually written in 2017, but I didn't get to read it until 2022, so still counts. Yeah. Number 2, God of War Ragnarok on PS4 video game. Honestly, I'm only about 2 minutes into that game, but already it's number 2 on my list. It's amazing.
I've seen all the memes on the internet about that game.
Yeah. And number 1, coming as no surprise, Wakanda Forever. And
All right, Shannon, because I want to talk about stuff. Please give us your honorable mentions before I jump in.
Cool. Okay, honorable mention. These were great. And they go across. I got a couple honorable mentions. I've got Knives Out, Glass Onion. It was really good. We've got Prey, which was a Predator prequel, I guess it would be considered. It was really good. And then 2 albums here. We've got the album SOS by SZA, and we've got King's Disease 3 by Nas.
All right. Shannon, little redemption in your list there. All right.
Okay, Shannon. Well, okay. Just some quick
Nels,
headliners.
Before you get in there, Nels, before you get in there,
Please.
Oh, good.
Hey, Shannon, what do you think, real quick? What do you think about Nas's like beat choices? I think he has just went from like zero to hero when it comes to beat choices. And is it Hit Boy or DJ Mustard who's doing his beats?
I think it's Hit Boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it's Hit Boy. No, it was. Yeah, they've gotten a lot better because I mean Nas was. I feel like Nas was always known for like everybody's like, oh, Nas is amazing lyricist and this and that, but you know how people are. They're like, if you ain't got a hot beat, they don't really listen to you. It don't matter what you saying.
I'm willing to say he was one of the worst beat choosers in hip hop, but that's in a whole other episode. But go ahead, Nels.
Easily.
Let him have
it. Thanks for calming me down because I was about to go in. Thanks. There's a nice little palate cleanser. Shannon, one, I'll give you a shout out. The fact that you have a video game on here, kudos to you, brother. I am so happy that you were able to even just press play on a video game. So parental leave must be good for you. That is the only nice thing I have to say. Doctor Strange made your list.
It's on there. The introduction of the characters. It gave us a taste of there's
a lot of good stuff in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I don't think it all comes together as a good stew, but there's a lot of good things in there.
And we got to be real. I mean, it's Marvel. It won't going to take me much to get out to the theater and see it. It's Marvel.
Touche.
Hey, Shannon, I want to give you just real quick. Yo, shout out to The Untold. I forgot that came out this year, but yeah, that was a great documentary. Yeah. That was really, really good. I'm glad that made your list, man. Glad that got love.
I'm definitely gonna sign up to watch that. So thank you for the reminder, Shannon. Shannon, is the Dan Brown book, is it the same character like the Tom Hanks character? Is it another mystery?
Yeah. So for them, it's funny because I feel like the books, I mean, they've got, Origin, Da Vinci Code, all of that. And it's the same character, but it's almost like stuff just resets. Like they never, you could read any one of them. And it's not like, oh, if I read this book, then this would make sense. Which is funny. It's always
there's no character development. It's like, let's get this smart guy trying to figure out all these clues from history.
Exactly. But
he's essentially Indiana Jones without a whip.
Yeah.
You want to keep it a buck.
Yeah, but no, it was really good though. It did this whole slight spoiler, but it gives us this whole thing of technology merging with people to an extent, like how we talk about species and evolution. It was really dope because I'm like, yo, I know this is a book and this is fiction, but I'm like, I see this stuff happening now, like the way technology plays a role in people, merging. Like somebody has a pacemaker, somebody has a robotic arm or anything like that. Anyway, we'll go into more detail later. But great book.
One other thing about Dan Brown, I love Dan Brown books because the chapters are 2 pages long. And so it'll make you feel really smart because you're on chapter 57. You're like, yeah, man, I'm just crushing this book. It just makes you
go me
really good.
Yo, what killed it? I was on vacation and was flying through the book because usually vacation people are always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read a book, but really you not you just doing all this other stuff. But really I could not hardly put the book down. So I'm like, yo, you made me feel like that. It wasn't really a chore. Kudos, you made my list.
Awesome. All righty, thank you for the list, Shannon. I will jump in with my list. All right, so my top 10 list. At number 10, we have Bel Air on Peacock. Number 9, a show called Reasonable Doubt. This premiered on Hulu. I'll just quickly talk about it because I'm assuming y'all don't have it on your list. So Reasonable Doubt is like I didn't want to watch it at first because I thought it was just like a Tyler Perry murder mystery. And, you know, Tyler Perry makes stuff that isn't necessarily my cup of tea. But that is not the case. This was like a lawyer murder mystery, all black show. I was watching it with Shamel. It is one of the few shows that we watch from beginning to end. Highly recommended if you have time. It's great. It was fun. Number 8, The Batman. Number 7, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 6 is a comic book. It's actually 2 comic books. So you know what? I did have a tie, Mark. I had 2 comic books. They're both X-Men books. Immortal X-Men, which is about like the government of the mutant society. And then X-Men Red. It's a comic book about the X-Men on Mars and Storm, who is the leader of the group. It's amazing. They're just amazing. Anyways, number 5 is Glass Onion. Number 4 is Woman King. So before I go into my top 3, I think it's important just to call this out. So the year was 2022, and all 3 of my movies, and all of the top 3 movies are all sequels. And so I just find that intriguing that my top 3 is filled with sequels in a year of 2022. I digress. Here we go. Number 3, Avatar 2. Cannot believe it, but Avatar 2 is number 3.
Oh, man.
And it was a very close number 3 to this number 2, which
James
is Black
Cameron.
Panther, Wakanda Forever. I would honestly say it's a tie for me for those 2 movies. But because I try to stick to the rules, number 2 is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And that means number 1 is Top Gun Maverick. Number 1 is Top Gun Maverick. Anyways,
Wow.
that's my list. Honorable mention, Peacemaker, Barbarian. I read there were some good parts of that horror movie, and you know, your boy loves horror. Lightyear, that was the first movie I ever took in theater. Sandman on Netflix, Werewolf by Night, and bring it on home, there was this amazing book that came out called C is for College. If you haven't gotten it already, I know the authors. They're amazing. I highly recommend getting
that. Should have been everyone's number 1.
Yeah, love it, love it.
All right.
Wow.
Any takeaways before we move on?
Nels, I thought your number 1 and not my number 1 were going to be the same, but I was highly mistaken. No shade. I just thought we were going to have the same number 1. Solid list. I think it's so funny that Avatar made your top 3 after like the shellacking you gave that movie, the refusal you committed to not seeing it, and it is your top 3 movies of the year. I don't know if that's disgusted. What poetic justice is, but it's something.
I'm disgusted by it. I didn't want this to be in my top 3. I didn't want this to make the list. I wasn't even going to give it an honorable mention. I had to put it in my top 3. Had to. No choice. It's too good.
When you wrote this list, was it like that scene in Liar Liar where he's trying to be like the pen is blue? He's like trying to force himself to write. You're like, Avatar.
Mark, this is how depressing this was. The list was made, and then I went to go watch Avatar 2. You see what I'm saying? The list was made. So I had already set what it was, and I had to put Avatar 2 where it was. And so the disgust that I had, like, nope, it was better than this. It was better than this. It was better than this.
Wow.
It was tragic. I was just like,
You know, somebody sitting in honorable mention right now. It's like, I would have been on the list too.
What did it dethrone? What did it dethrone? Oh, wow. Wow.
And
good
I
choice.
Peacemaker.
Good choice, but damn, man.
Yeah,
Woo.
I love Peacemaker, and it knocked Peacemaker off the list.
Good list.
Here we are.
Good list.
Here we are.
All right, I guess it's my turn. All right, man. So I'll run through mine. Man, we have very different lists, gentlemen. But hey, that's why we do this show. Starting at my top 10 of 2022, number 10 is The Book of Jose, written by Fat Joe. Number 9 is Avatar, The Way of Water. Yeah. Nels, yeah. I enjoyed it, but...
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow! Here we go. Cannot wait for the rest.
Number 8 is a... Go ahead, Shannon.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean it. I was just like, I mean, it barely made the list. I am surprised to see what the rest of your list looks like.
Wait, okay. I think you guys need to hear the rest of my list, and then you need to hear my honorable mentions, and you'll understand.
Sure,
I
sure.
thoroughly
Whatever.
enjoyed, everything else.
Just go, Mark. Whatever.
Whatever, jerk. But number 8 was that tie between Stranger Things and Peacemaker. Number 7, Top Gun Maverick. Number 6, season 4 of Atlanta. Number 5, a show on Hulu called The Bear. I don't know if you guys have watched The Bear, heard of The Bear. You watched it, Nels? Shannon, you saw it?
No, I haven't watched it, but I've heard of it. I've seen clips and stuff, so I know it's good.
About the restaurant.
Yeah, dude, I inhaled this show. Like, I ran through the show so quick. Like, if it was a book, I couldn't put it down. It's basically about a small restaurant, and I think in Chicago, and working in the food industry, it just brought back so many memories. I was like, I've been through that. That has happened to me. I've seen that, but it was just like the characters are great. It's just a good dynamic show, and it made my list because I just flew through it. Number 4, season 3 of Barry, Bill Hader's show on HBO. Number 3, I have a tie between Primal season 2, Genndy Tartakovsky's animated show, and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie on Netflix. May be the best Ninja Turtles movie ever created. I'm gonna stand on that. It is really good. My number 2 is Nope, and my number 1 movie thing of the year is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So you went to go watch it, huh?
Yeah, I saw it. It was really good. We can get into that, but it might be one of my favorite movies ever made. My honorable mentions, I'm gonna run through them real quick. I got The Slap, heard around the world. Will Smith Slap.
Oh my God!
It's an honorable mention for honorable mentions. Jackass Forever, Better Call Saul, House of the Dragon, The Rehearsal, a show called Search Party, Star Wars Visions on Disney Plus, Love, Death, and Robots. Yo, the Proud Family reboot, Louder and Prouder. Actually, very nice, very nice. A movie called RRR on Netflix. Just
shout out to RRR.
Yo, yes, fantastic. Glass Onion, The Batman, Turning Red, and I tried my hardest to get this movie in my top 10, and I just couldn't. Wakanda Forever. What's wrong, Nils?
Oh God! God!
I knew you were
did not put. This man did not put Wakanda Forever in his top 10. I just don't get it. Don't like.
Ryan Coogler did not rewrite that entire movie for it to be on your honorable mention, Mark.
Look,
what is wrong with this man? I don't get it.
Hey,
Janet, I swear he does this on purpose, man.
Dog,
like, what are we doing?
Look, look, because I wasn't on the review.
Look, I
wasn't on the review with you guys. I liked the movie a lot. I enjoyed the movie a lot. There's some things that didn't work for me. It didn't all come together. It just didn't. I wanted more world building. The thing is, there's amazing things in the movie. The movie almost made my top 10 just because of oh my God, she just won the Golden Globe.
Angela Bassett.
It almost made it just because of her. Like, she needs her own prequel series as just like the Queen of Wakanda. But dog, there's just things in the movie that the action in Black Panther, there's things that I love about the movie, but the action is still a little lackluster. I feel like in Wakanda Forever, the action is even more lackluster. Ryan Coogler is a phenomenal director. I don't think he's put a handle on action yet. And then just some of the pacing of it, I was like, does this really need to be 3 hours? And it's nitpicky, but like at the end, they're like, oh, well, we didn't want T'Challa's son to live in Wakanda. Why? Like, you don't want your son to live in the safest place on Earth? It's like, well, the pressure of the kingdom. Well, what's going to happen now when people discover that I don't know. It just felt silly to me. I was like, that was just like, I don't know. It didn't need to happen. But I loved the movie. I had a great time watching it. It's just, it didn't hit like the first one. It just didn't. And I wish I could change that, but I can't.
I'm also hurt because not only was it on your honorable mention, it was like either the last one or second to last. So I feel like it barely made your honorable mention at that.
No. It was.
No, I know.
It was. Let me tell you, like, I tried to get this on the list. Like, even before we got on, I was like, is there anything I'm willing to take off this list to switch with Wakanda Forever? And
you know what kind of disgusts me about you, Mark, is like you trying to like pander, like you have created like that you put out so much effort to try to put Wakanda Forever on your top 10 list, like you didn't have 2 ties on the list already. You have 14, like 12 stuff on here. You can easily have tied it with Book of Jose. Like you talking about like you righted some wrongs just to make your top 10 list, and Wakanda Forever was the martyr that couldn't make the list. Like you didn't have at number 3 Primal and Rise of TMNT.
Have you seen it
on there? I didn't see it, Mark. No, I didn't. Okay,
so you know what I didn't see?
You can't say. I saw Wakanda Forever.
You can't say.
You put on Stranger
you don't know.
Peacemaker on the same line, and you did not put Wakanda
I had to convince you to go see
in years past.
Nails.
No, Mark Jones. No,
see
in years
your
past,
number 3.
You have set a number 11. You have made a number 11 just because you were demanded something had to be on the list, and you wouldn't put Wakanda.
You coming at me like I'm crazy, and I had to basically beg you.
You are crazy.
I had to beg you to go see your number 3 movie of the year, and I'm crazy.
And I thank you for it, Mark. I thank you for it, and you are a great friend.
And I
didn't say you weren't I didn't say you were a bad friend. I said you were crazy for not putting Wakanda Forever on your list. There is a difference. Yeah.
Bruh, like you don't like I wanted to love this movie.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I wanted to.
You know how I know? Because it didn't make your top 10.
No,
that's how I know you didn't want to love this list.
Dog,
but you love this movie. Get out of here, bruh.
Man.
Come on now.
Don't look.
This goes against everything we do in Pop Call Parent. I'm not supposed to be yelling from your opinions. This is one of our staple rules. You took me here. You brought me to this place.
If you can't handle the list, I don't know what to tell you, man. These are the numbers. This is what happened. All right. It's not like I did this to piss Nails off. And I knew this, Shannon. I knew this would happen. I knew that. I was like talking to myself. I'm like, self, you got to find a place for Wakanda Forever, or Nails is gonna eat you alive. I was like, all right, let me think. I was like, nah, I'm not willing to move anything else. You got to do it. Nails is gonna eat you alive. But hey, I'm sorry, Nails. I can't. Like, it was a great movie, right? I enjoyed myself. I think you're not listening. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. There's great things in the movie. I just think as a whole cohesive story, it didn't pan together. It didn't. I'm not excited for Black Panther 3, right? Because of the way how Black Panther 2 ended. And I'm like, I had to take that in note. Like, I'm not excited. I'll go see it. I'll go see anything Ryan Coogler does. I will blind watch anything he makes. But I'm just not excited for the next Black Panther based off of what I saw in this movie.
I'm going to say Ryan Coogler is a saint and he will be treated as such. No, I don't know. I've been quiet because I'm like, I don't know.
Why?
To you, because to me it was beautiful. It was amazing.
Yo,
like,
but
sure.
like,
I mean, they're Marvel movies. They're not.
Shannon, that's your number 1. Yeah. It's not even good enough to make his list.
I know.
Your number 1. He's like, yeah. Yo, Jose is better.
Y'all are acting like I hated the movie. Like, I cried at moments. I thought it was beautiful. I love that Burner Boy song. Like, I was actually impressed what they did with Ironheart.
He said Barry was better.
Have you seen Barry?
Yes, I've seen Barry, Mark.
You see
Look.
all of Barry.
No, Mark, look, first of all, I'm not going to argue about some of these shows just to prove your point. Like, no, the fact of the matter is you didn't put it on your top 10 list, and now you got to deal with the repercussions of not having it on your top 10 list.
Why? Because you two like it a lot. So I gotta like it a lot.
Yes, that is it. That is exactly the reason. That is the exact reason. You waited. Well, look, I can't say justifiably that you waited like it was your choice. You have 2 children and a ridiculous schedule. So justifiably so, you could not watch it at the ideal time that you should have watched it. But you did watch this after Avatar 2. And you said yourself that may have had a factor in how you interpreted and appreciated it.
I did, yeah. And I kind of wish I didn't. Shannon, you weren't there for the conversation, but I told Nels that I kind of wish I didn't see Avatar before I saw Wakanda, because I think it skewed my enjoyment of Wakanda, because there's things done in Avatar, like examining the culture, the world building, that I was expecting from Wakanda Forever. And I didn't get that. And so I feel like that might have skewed my appreciation of it. Fellas, that when that first trailer came out, that No Woman, No Cry, Kendrick Lamar, We Gonna Be All Right trailer, I cried. I posted a meme. It was when Angela Bassett's like, I've sacrificed everything. And it's like Angela Bassett, it says the cameraman, and it's Wesley Snipes from New Jack City crying. I was like, yes, man, I'm ready for it. Like, I'm ready for Wakanda Forever, but it just didn't hit me like I thought it was going to hit me, man. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. I'm definitely going to watch it again. And I'll go see Wakanda Black Panther 3. Shout out to all the actors and homeboy from Us. What is the dude? The dude of the mountain.
Winston Duke.
Yes, dog, I kind of hope he becomes the new Black Panther, and he's like the Black Panther Wakanda, and Shuri's out there doing her like freelance Black Panther stuff. Like, that sounds really cool, but I've seen all of Ryan Coogler's movies. I will blind watch anything he watches. You're acting like I paid my own hard-earned money to go see
James
this.
Cameron. You got to watch James Cameron movies first, and then you'll watch a Ryan Coogler movie. Anyways,
hey, I stand on my one. It didn't make my list.
Let's move on.
About it.
I'm just saying, if for some reason we don't get an invite to either the Rock Nation brunch or some Ryan Coogler boat party, I'm not going to say this is the reason, but I'm not going to say this is part of the reason.
So, gentlemen, I think this is what we should talk about just from looking over the list. And some of them we've done episodes on, so we can just say 1 or 2 things or whatever. But I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the list. We have Glass Onion, The Batman, Wakanda Forever, Top Gun, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Am I missing anything?
No.
Avatar 2.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think I don't know if I mentioned Prey. Did I mention Prey? That made my honorable mentions.
Okay. Yeah.
As well. But yeah, no, that sounds good. Boy, can I ask y'all something? How come Nope isn't even in any of y'all's even honorable mentions?
I thought it was all right.
Yeah. So this is where I can see where I think we would differ. All right. So this is my theory, Mark. So in my experience, I saw Nope. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think it was good. I think there was just some stuff that I probably needed to watch some of those videos after it. It's like, this is, explaining this detail and why this was so deep, because I think there was a lot that I didn't get. But I'll go into my theory or slight comment here. I think probably you love that movie more than either of us because of your experience and all of these things when it comes to cinematography, photography, all of those types of things. Because I think that was huge in this movie. And I think if you're someone who is definitely into that, I think this probably speaks to you a different way, like the importance of photography and that sort of power it has.
Well, I liked Nope because it gave me the same feeling when I first watched Jaws and when I first watched Tremors. I was like, here is a good monster movie that's like not reliant on the gore or the jump scares, and it has some of the dopest black actors in cinema right now. I mean, dog, Keith David has a cameo in this movie, you know, and anytime Keith David's in something, it bumps it to at least a B. I just loved it. I just loved all the references. There's a lot of anime references in there. It's just a lot of like old film references in there. Just what I'm gonna get on soapbox real quick. I do think the movie spoke to me because the whole thing is about like our need for spectacle and our need to be entertained and feeding the beast, right? Feeding the monster. And I work in a place where like we gotta check the numbers, or what are the kids clicking on, the clicks, the likes. And so that did speak to me, right? And I also feel that I'm actively trying to fight back against like the cynicism of the world and just the bureaucracy. I don't know, just like there's no more, what am I trying to say? There's no more like lust for like life, or it's just like, oh, we've seen it, we've done it, whatever, I don't care, it's stupid. And like there's no more wonder, or just like, you know what I mean? And so I felt like that movie spoke to me on that. So like I loved Nope. I really loved it. I'm shocked that they even make yours honorable mentions, but like that's cool. That's cool. I respect you guys' opinion.
What's wild too, like it's one of the movies that again, like I went out to the theater to see. Like I made it out to the theater. And again, I mean, I don't think I was disappointed, but I was just like, okay, this was good. I can just definitely tell there's some things that I don't quite get or understand. And I think I'm also in that trap that we shouldn't be, where I'm like, anytime there's a Jordan Peele movie, I'm like, Get Out. Of course, Get Out was amazing. And then, then there was Us. Then there, and I'm like, I have to just remember that Jordan Peele is going to make some different type stuff, but my first thought shouldn't be the way that Get Out made me feel, because I feel like Get Out is its own thing. So, I feel like I go into that with like every Jordan Peele movie, like compared to Get Out, how does this make me feel? And it's just like, view it as his own thing.
He's been compared to a lot to M. Night, and I feel like a lot of people were filling out with M. Night with like Sixth Sense and
I would not. I don't like that. Compare.
Well, no. You remember early Midnight when Unbreakable and Sixth Sense came out? Everyone, oh my god, killing like yeah. So people are saying like in that aspect they're comparing him to M. Night. Not sure. I respect that, and I understand that. I'm willing. I'm at the point with Jordan Peele. Just tell me when to be at his next movie. Like I don't need to see a trailer for anything Jordan Peele does. Like I'll be there. So yeah, I mean I get it, man.
Yeah, it was good. I love the twist. That was like dope. But yeah, it didn't capture me like, some other spectacle movies were. But I'll watch anything Jordan Peele does. Yeah, like he got me there. So there is a couple of these things that we've already done episodes on, so we could probably just like talk 1 or 2 minutes or so. I'm assuming we can already bypass Wakanda Forever since that was discussed there. So let's talk about the Batman. I think the Batman made it on our list of honorable mentions in some way, shape, or form. We kind of had like, I think I did a bonus episode on the Batman. I don't know if we
very good episode, dog. By the way, that was a really, really good episode. I was like, wow, Nels did this by himself. I kind of hope he doesn't leave the show.
It was helpful that it was on my favorite superhero, and it referenced some of the best comics that I've ever read. So like, it took no prep time. I just like showed up and talked and then bounced. I don't think, unicorn moments, but thank y'all. So yeah, so like what are some thoughts on the Batman, and I can, just maybe like quickly jump in. So there was the episode I talk about some of the most iconic Batman stories and how it showed up, and yeah, I do think this movie is the best Batman movie, not the best movie like within Batman, but the best like I have seen Batman portrayed as a detective. Like I loved it. I loved watching him like solve the crime. it was very close to like the early first couple years of how Batman is represented in comics, like when he's first starting off. So like it was very accurate to me and like loved it. But I have no faith in Warner Brothers. I have no faith in franchises, but I will definitely watch a sequel if one ever exists. But I really did think it was a strong movie. And I did enjoy aspects of the world building. I did not like Joker at all, but that's neither here nor there. Everything else I really did enjoy.
No, I didn't have a feeling about Joker. I thought it didn't need to be in the movie, but why did you not like that Joker scene or that Joker?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to go that direction, go all in and like do it. Like, I feel like there is no, like, the reason the Joker is an amazing character is because every time he shows up, he's different. And so it's like you cannot rationalize his thought process. He's fire, right? Like you cannot control or contain fire. And the fact that you think you can is what messes you up. You know what I'm saying? He's like lightning. You can't capture lightning in a bottle. And so like seeing this interpretation of Joker just really reminded me of other interpretations of the Joker. And I'm like, nah, you're just doing your own remix to it. And like, I'm like, nah, that's not, you need to like, that's why I was kind of okay. No, I wasn't okay. But like, I respect Old Boy's interpretation. Who's the guy who did,
Joaquin, how do you say his name?
No, not that one, because that one was good. I'm talking about Buddy who also was Morbius.
Oh yeah.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, he went a completely different like approach, and I was like, I respect that. I didn't like it, but I respected this guy Barry. He seemed like he was trying to be like a soft serve version of the Dark Knight's Joker, and I'm like, nah, man, that's not it, buddy. So anyways, that's why I didn't like the Joker.
Okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Chet, I don't know if you you want to join, or I could jump in.
Yeah. I'll say mine right quick because I feel like you probably have some deeper things. but no, I'll say for mine, what it did for me, I like how I feel like this was the first time it sort of gave you that feeling of like, for real, if Batman was real, this is how things would be. Because in the cartoon and stuff, you always hear people be like, this bat freak or whatever they say that. But it really gave this feeling of the way people looked at him. They were like, this dude is in this suit. Like, who is this? Like, this is weird. Like people really felt like, like in a lot of movies, they're like, they sort of skip over that part and they're all on the mystique, the fear, that type of stuff. And they're like, oh, Batman is so scary. But I think if it were real life, people really would be like, this is this weird dude in a suit. Like, and he's just walking in here. Like, what is it? And so like, I feel like that feeling that it gave, I really like respected that and enjoyed that. Cause I don't think I really felt that from a Batman. Like, people might say, oh, this guy's weird, but it's more so fear. But a lot of it was just that thing of, no, like if Batman was real, at least at the beginning, this is how it would be. Like the fear and stuff would come later, but it'd be like, this dude in a suit and the fact that he wasn't great at stuff yet. Like we remember when he was like flying and or gliding or whatever. And basically, he like hit the train, hit the street. But so,
I will say, Shannon, one thing you highlighted that was the case the entire movie. Everybody was looking around like, yo, are we cool with this?
Yeah.
Like, are we just gonna let him walk through the crime scene? Like,
hey, I kind of love like in that movie, Batman is just like in a room with cops and everyone's like, well, this is life, I guess. He's just like standing there with cops and everyone's like, I guess guy in a bat suit. Hey, whatever,
Yeah, that
like whatever.
That was.
I get off at 7 anyway.
Yeah, whatever, man. I got kids to feed. As long as I get paid, I don't care how the city spends its money. I really enjoyed the Batman Nails. I think I'm in the same place as you, where I feel like the Dark Knight is a better movie like whatever, like pound for pound, what makes a movie, but the Batman is maybe the best Batman movie created, concentrated on the character. I really enjoyed it, man. I felt like I was watching the animated series show brought to life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I just felt like the atmosphere, like we've never seen Gotham like that. It just felt like this real city. Gotham was a character in that movie, and I really, really appreciated it. The direction, like that one scene where the Bruce thinks the bomb is about to go off, and he calls Alfred, and then they cut, and it already went off.
Yeah,
I was like, damn! Like I was like, that's so good. Like shit like that was so good. The only thing I was like, yo, this is the world's greatest detective, and Batman doesn't know like rat with wings. Like he couldn't get that, and he's the greatest detective that ever lives. I was like, that's ridiculous.
It's pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. Even I think
pretty bad.
Even the Penguin, I think in the movie was like, you don't get it. Like you don't rats with wings, bat. But other than that, no, I really enjoyed it, man. Catwoman, I think it's the best Catwoman put on screen to this date.
Ooh, wow! I
think she was really good.
Better than Eartha Kitt. I can't say it. I mean, she probably is. Like Zoe Kravitz killed it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say somebody's better than Eartha Kitt.
Damn. Yeah. All right. I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, I was like, it's tough for me because I feel like I end up sort of forgetting about those, and I mean, even though those are like the iconic ones, but generally, I'm thinking like, okay, the ones that I've seen. And if we're saying the ones we've seen, I mean, like one, she kills it, period. So I don't want to take away from that, but I feel like there's not a lot of competition there because like Halle Berry's and the other ones I can't remember, but from Batman Returns and I can't remember their real names now. But
it's not Heather Locklear. What's her name? The one from Batman Returns? We should know this, y'all. She's a movie star. She's an Ant-Man. We should know this.
Yes, yep. Anyway, but anyway, yeah, her, and then from our last Rise of the Dark Knight. I can't even remember titles now.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Dark Knight y'all. Rises.
I had to look her up. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah,
terrible.
But yeah. Anyway, hasn't had a lot of competition, but even if she did, like she killed it. But just mention that real quick. That's sort of like if we were to talk Superman and stuff. Like I sort of, even though it is like that is the iconic one, I forget about what Christopher Reeve. Not forget it, but you know what I mean. I'm my first thought is all the more new ones, Henry Cavill and whoever else. Yeah,
we're gonna disagree on that one, but I feel you. All right. Anything else on the Batman? Cool. Well, another one that we did an episode on, so we can kind of like just talk through, is Avatar 2. Mark, any other things you want to name on Avatar 2?
Nah, man, I think I'm going to leave everything we said in the episode. Shannon, I know you have a newborn, so this is a big ask. If you manage any time in your schedule, go see it on the big screen. That is the way to watch this movie. Listeners, if you can go watch Avatar, you got to watch it on a big screen in IMAX. That's the way you're going to enjoy this movie.
Very true. Very true.
I will say it's on my list. I don't know if we'll go in this direction a little later, but I have like a short list of. I know we're doing top 10 of like things we've seen. I've got like a number of things that I wish I would have seen in 2022. So it's definitely on that list.
But
all right. So next is Prey, and I'll turn it over to y'all. I haven't seen Prey. Lord knows I want to. I heard it was amazing from y'all. I heard it was amazing. But yeah, I'll turn it over to y'all.
I'll say something real quick about it. To me, I felt like it was one of those sort of rare slip-ups, like in a good way, because I think had that movie went to the theaters, it would have done great. It would have been, yeah. And so for me, I love, and I call those little slip-ups. Like I love when Netflix, Hulu, or something like that, they end up making one of those movies themselves and they just put it there versus like, oh, we put this in the theater and then later it came here. Because yeah, that would have done great in the theaters. But I'm so glad that it just went straight to Hulu. And it was, yeah, great movie. I love how it tied in something that happened from Predator 2. It actually caused me to go all the way back and watch Predator 2.
Yeah, yes, Shannon,
Yeah.
yes. The one of the coolest moments in Predator 2 is a callback to this moment. Yeah,
Danny Glover's Predator 2?
Yep.
In New York, Danny Glover's Predator 2?
Mm-hmm. LA, by the way.
LA, my bad. Yeah.
But yeah, it had me like I ended up not doing this, but it was a great movie. I love how it sort of expanded that thing of Predator, where like a predator isn't just a predator. Like they have evolved, they have different, like I guess different branches, different kind. Because this one was more so like a primitive predator. And even with it had me feeling like I need to go back and watch like all the Predator movies now. I didn't. I just went back and watched Predator.
Oh,
2.
no, Shannon, you don't have to. No.
Yeah.
Like you definitely you stick with Prey and you're fine, buddy. Like you don't care to watch the rest of it.
Yeah. But no, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, Prey, man, I agree with everything you said. Prey is a hidden gem. I think Fox, or now 20th Century Studios, is kicking themselves in the butt. They should have released it. They should have put it out in the theaters. It definitely would have made over 150 million domestic if they did. Nah, I'm with you, Shannon. I love it. I was like, it's one of those things like Rogue One. It made the franchise better. Predator as a franchise is better because of Prey. Mm-hmm. It is a better movie because of Prey. Actors are dope. I think all the actors and a whole like mostly Native American cast. I think Shannon, the girl who's the main character, she's been in a couple things. She's got a dope hold up. She got a real dope last name, by the way.
Yeah,
if I could, does. What is her name?
It's like Moon something, right?
It's like, I think it's like Thunder.
Yeah, I didn't want to get it wrong. The first thing that came to mind was like Talking Thunder or something. But I feel like
it's really cool. It's like
something.
Oh, Amber Midthunder, like that.
Yeah, Midthunder. Yep,
Midthunder is she killed it. Yo, Shannon, I don't know if you knew this. The dude who plays her brother, he worked at like a Dick's Sporting Goods or something before this movie. Yeah, he was just like he was just some guy. Hey, and he kills it in this movie. Yeah. He's great in this movie. It does a great callback to Predator 2. The only thing I wish, I was listening to a little interview with the director. He was trying to be like, yo, don't tell anyone about the Predator. Just put this movie. He wanted it to be a surprise reveal. And I was like, man, that would have been so dope to be watching this movie, watching this girl survive in the woods, and then you see those 3 Predator dots, and I put myself in it to see that happen in real time. It would have been an internet sensation, and so I hope
that would have been a huge if they did that.
The word
on mouth on that,
the word on mouth on that would have been crazy.
Mm-hmm. These studios don't know what the hell they're doing, man.
Yeah,
and you imagine that?
That's the stuff we need, because now we're in this realm of, we already know a movie that's going to come out in 2 years. I feel like there used to be this whole thing of okay, maybe you knew this movie was going to come out a month before it came out, or there were big surprises in movies, but now they're just like, hey, so-and-so just got signed to play this character, and the movie will be made sometime in the next 2 to 3 years. And you're just like, oh, there's no surprise there. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine how the internet would have blown up? People were like, go see Prey. Don't look at no trailers. Don't read nothing. Just go see Prey. And the movie probably would have made like $300 million. But
it would have been on the Blair Witch Project level.
Yeah.
It would have been this generation's Blair Witch Project. If no one said anything about the Predator being in it, oh man, I'm so disappointed that did not happen. And I ain't even watched the movie yet. But that would have been amazing.
It's a good time, Nels. You'll really enjoy it.
I'm sure I will. Just hearing y'all talk about it sounds so good. So yeah,
that's Prey, man. Listeners, if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Awesome. So next is Glass Onion, also known as Knives Out 2. Glass Onion brings Bernard Blanc. That is, what's Buddy's name? Why am I forgetting his name?
Daniel
Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig back in the detective role. That's really the only connection it has with Knives Out. I heard from the director Ryan Johnson that like each of these movies are supposed to be like standalone movies. So Glass Onion is a, murder mystery, quote unquote murder mystery. Well, never mind. I mean, it's a quote unquote murder mystery. And yeah, man, loved it. I don't know. Like, are we going to spoil?
Look, we're going to spoil Glass Onion, Knives Out 2. If you don't want to be spoiled, like fast forward, you've been warned. Go ahead, Nels.
All right. Like, I loved how it was so simple and in your face. And like you were doing the same thing the characters in the movie were doing, which was trying to make it more complicated than it actually was. Like I saw him give him the cup. Like I remember looking at him being I'm like, yo, why did he give him this cup? And saw him die and just like completely acted like that didn't happen in my head when they were trying to figure out what was going on. It was like a live action Mandela effect. I was like, no, that didn't happen. No, that did happen. Like it was so refreshing. And yeah, man, sign me up. This was a good use of my time. Like I will watch all of those movies. Like from the comfort of my home though. I don't know if I would have liked this in theaters. I needed to pause.
I saw this in the theater.
How was it in theater?
Dude, I loved it. I think it was Thanksgiving and everyone was asleep and my wife was going to go, was like, she was not. And she said, yeah, go see a movie, whatever. So you know what's funny? I didn't go see Wakanda Forever because it was really late. And I was like, if I go to see Wakanda Forever now, I'm going to sleep through.
I remember this night where you like asked like, hey, should I go watch this or should I go watch Wakanda Forever? And I was like, go watch Wakanda Forever. And you didn't listen to me. But anyways, that's fine.
But
here we are.
But you know what, man? I think myself and the audience, I think we really enjoyed the experience of like being in a movie that wasn't some big $300 million spectacle, Marvel, DC. It was just this simple adult drama murder mystery. And I got the vibe that everyone was having like a real good time. And like I don't think we get that anymore. Like we don't get like a Enemy of the State, anymore in the movie theaters. Just like those like whodunits or Conspiracy Theory, the joint with Mel Gibson. We don't get those anymore. And so like having like just seeing that in the movie theater and like enjoying your popcorn and enjoying it.
Shout out to Conspiracy Theory.
That movie's so good, dog. I love that movie.
So I completely forgot that movie existed.
That movie's so dope.
Oh man, good call, Mark Jones.
But we don't get those no more in the movie theaters. It's always like it's either like the next Marvel, the next Pixar. So I think people actually enjoyed that. And honestly, man, I think Netflix needs to relook how they release stuff. I think they would benefit from releasing their bigger projects in the theater like a month ahead of time. Cause it was only out for like a week. It only came out for like a week in theaters, but like I enjoyed it, man. I loved it. And I'm with you, Nels. I could watch if this is all Daniel Craig does for the rest of his acting career. I'm cool
with it.
I could watch a Knives Out movie every 2 years for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
agreed.
I'm with that. Yeah. And I gotta say, shout out to Janelle Monáe in this because, like, I feel like she's somebody who you keep just learning more and more talents she has. It's like first it's like, oh yeah, you're a great singer, an artist and stuff, and then even on top of that, she'll release a song that's like, oh, you are even better singer than I thought, and then and then it's like acting. It's like, oh, you can act too. That's cool. Oh, you are even better actor than I thought.
I love
her.
Her.
Mess around and get an Oscar.
Yeah.
Like a side gig.
As a side, they're like, oh, you forgot to come. Here you go. She, oh yeah, just put it on the show. But dude, I loved her intro in the movie where we open up and everyone's talking and they're doing this elaborate puzzle, and then we cut to her. And she leaves the frame. And she comes up with a hammer and just opens the box. Like,
amazing,
so good, man. It's so good.
The like layered approach they had too, when it's like a person when you're basically playing like what 2 to 3 characters, you know, because you're playing like you're playing this person, then you're playing this person that's pretending to be this person, and you know all of that, those layers. So you know, really respect that.
Yeah, I want to shout out to what's his name, Batista.
Dave Bautista.
I think he did really good in this. And
That man can act. Like
he
can
can
act.
He's an actor.
I'm really looking forward to like just his future roles, because like he has range, like surprising range as an actor. I caught that from what was the Blade Runner? Like the first part of Blade Runner. I was just like, oh wow, Dave Bautista can act. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest. And
what's great about him, like no diss to The Rock. Like The Rock is a movie star. He's a blockbuster movie star.
Dave Bautista.
Batista. He's like doing these little movies, these little parts. Like, yeah, I'll be in Knives Out, this little murder mystery for Netflix. Like, I think that's so cool that he's doing stuff like that. Yeah, man. And shout out to this movie for like going ham on Elon.
Yes.
Like, I was like, I really personally like. I don't really have a lot of feelings towards Elon. I just don't understand the Elon deriders that I see online. Like, I don't. That part of I got over loving celebrities in high school. So like, I just don't understand how like grown men are out there, like dying on hills for like celebrities, and it just doesn't compute for me. So like, I love how this movie like just like took it to Elon.
Yeah. I mean, I ride for Batman the way that some of these folks ride for Elon Musk. So I can kind of get it, but you know, Batman is more accomplished than Elon Musk.
I mean,
Batman. Yeah, he went in. Yeah, so I think the other thing in this is like, shout out to Rian Johnson. The man's a good director. You know, like I think, you know, everybody kind of has different feelings based off of, you know, the Star Wars movie. Was it The Last Skywalker? Last Jedi. So, you know, that left a different taste on different people's mouths. But like, you take that specific movie out of his arsenal, of his like catalog, Rian Johnson's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. So yeah, I'm again, him too. If he only makes Knives Out movies going forward, fine by me. Fine by me. Sign me up. Okay. Anything else on Glass Onion?
Nah, looking forward to 3 and 4.
Yes, indeed. So, you know what? One other thing we didn't talk about was Bel Air. That was on my list and your list, Shannon. So we can spend like 1 minute on this. Bel Air was another one of the shows that Shamel and I watched from beginning to end. Surprisingly good. I did not expect for this show to be good. And then I just kept watching. I was like, huh. And I did that the entire season. I am a fan and I am here for it. I will be watching this show. It's a good show. It's a good show. It's corny. It's corny where it needs to be corny. And you appreciate the corniness. But outside of that, it's a good show. Yeah. What about you, Shannon? What did you think?
Yeah, I will say, Mark, I think you're going to enjoy it because I feel like there are some all-American vibes there. So I know so, like,
say less, Shannon.
Yeah. Say less. but yeah, same. I was just so surprised. Like I wanted to see what it was about and everything. And I was very surprised at the direction they went, because it wasn't feeling like they were like, oh, let's just make a Fresh Prince remake or whatever. Like, they really took their own direction while still holding true to some of those original things. I'm like, like Carlton's on coke. Like this is wild. But yeah, no, it is a great show. And yeah, I pretty much binged it over the course of, I feel like a couple weeks. And looking forward to season 2, whenever that drops.
Yep.
My wife watched a lot of the show. She enjoyed it. I just haven't got around to it yet. But Shannon, you with the all-American vibes. So does everyone come to Will with their problems? Does like the mayor of LA come to Will and ask him to stop police brutality or fix every problem that everyone has? Is that the vibe of the show?
You know, it's so funny. Like that's not far off. Like
Not far off at all.
Yeah, somehow everybody's problem touches him, and there's like something he's expected to do or something. And it's just
Like, yo, this man just got here.
Yeah.
Why are you putting all
Like-
the pressure on him?
Like a Native American group comes to Will, they're going to build a pipeline through our land, and he's like, "Well, Will, it looks like he got off the pipeline."
Yeah.
It's basically what it is. But
Pretty
yeah.
much.
So a lot of problems Will has to solve being involved in this. Like he's not even a politician, but I feel like there's a little bit of something.
He is
influences.
literally involved in a political race and the aspects of a political race.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of a political race. That's what made it so hilarious that you named
Will,
it.
they're redlining. I got a chemistry test tomorrow, man. I'm just trying to make it. My mom sent me all the way across the country to get an education. I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah, man. It's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Will,
good.
stop January 6th from happening. All right.
Okay. All right. So we'll move on to my number one. And Mark, you had it somewhere on your list, which is
Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick. So Mark, I'll let you go first. And then I'll talk about my number one.
I won't take up a lot of your time, Nels. I'm usually not a fan of Lego sequels, not because I'm like some purist, but just because usually they don't turn out that great. Man, if you would have told me that Top Gun Maverick, the 20-year sequel from Top Gun, was one of the coolest movies I've ever watched in my life, I would have thought you were crazy. Like and the meta message in this movie of like Tom Cruise, like, no, there's still movie stars and people still want to see these things, and people want to see people do real stunts, and they want to see reality on the screen. Like, I think this movie is needed. It's a breath of fresh air. I hope Hollywood takes the right lessons from Top Gun Maverick and we start to see more like things like this and Mad Max. Tom Cruise is a movie star, dog. He is a movie star, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to say sad, but like, he's getting older, and I don't know what movies are going to look like when this guy's no longer in them. And I cannot wait. Yo, and just the audacity of this man. He's it's COVID. We got to put Maverick out. No. He's like, Paramount's like, what do you mean? He's like, no, don't put it out. What are we going to put out? And he's like, I don't know, but you're not putting out my movie. You know? And then he like walks away. He like held that studio hostage. And so I just love the audacity of this man. And it made me even more hype for the Mission Impossible movies that are coming out. I mean, that's all I got to say. Great movie. I was just blown away. Nels, I'll let you take it away.
Mark, perfectly said. Couldn't have said it better than myself. Top Gun, there's a couple things about Top Gun. Top Gun made me love America again. I chanted USA in the movie theater because I haven't chanted USA in a long time. But Tom Cruise made me love America again. I think at a certain point I stood up and clapped, not at the end of the movie. I stood up and clapped in the middle of the movie because of a scene happening. I haven't done that since I was 13, man. Probably, give or take. Maybe during Dreamgirls. But it's been a while since I stood up in the middle of a movie and started clapping. This movie was really good. So why this movie made my number one for this year is because, and let me be careful with the words I'm about to say. This was my 2022 version of The Dark Knight. Every time a movie came, after I watched Maverick, every time I saw a movie or something, I was like, but was it Top Gun Maverick?
It wasn't no Maverick, though.
And the answer was no. For every movie I saw, it was like nothing to me beat Top Gun this year. It was a summer blockbuster movie that gave me everything that I like enjoyed, and there wasn't like a superhero involved in it.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened for me in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think you're right, Mark. It's going to be a sad day when Tom Cruise is no longer making these kind of movies, which who knows if that's ever going to happen. He may have found that that random thing in Avatar. Stop aging.
It's not a movie. They're really mining that
really
for Tom
going on.
Cruise so he can still make more movies.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't-
here's with the with Scientology, they might have a little something. something.
I don't know what to tell you. I ain't saying it's wrong, but look at Tom Cruise, man. So yeah, at some point he's not gonna be, he's not gonna be a movie star like that anymore. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but like there's a different kind of movie star that is Tom Cruise than is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's our number one right now.
It's the willingness to do anything. I think if Tom Cruise died making a movie, he'll die happy. Like I don't think he has any other way he'd like to go. Like he's willing to put himself out there, do anything for the shot. And like you said, there's no diss to The Rock, but like there's no other movie stars like it's like Tom Cruise, Jackie Chan.
That's it. You named the two. The third one is Bruce Lee, probably, who literally died making a movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And his son. That's it. Yeah. That's all we got.
So, yeah, like when it's like that, it's a generation. It's like we're seeing like the last breath of like not old school Hollywood, but like a version of Hollywood. And he's going out with a bang, dog. He really is.
And we are along for the ride.
He's trying to make what's his name? Hubbard. What's the dude? He's trying to make him proud so he can go to see
Ron Hubbard.
Ron Hubbard.
At some point, there's gonna be like we need to like fight. Oh wait, never mind. I was about to say we need to fight these aliens. He literally did War of the Worlds. He's done it already. Oh man, Tom Cruise. Anyways, anything else on Top Gun Maverick?
Yo, great casting for Homeboy's son, Goose's son.
Look just like him.
Just like him. Rooster. And what a dope
Look
name.
just
Like my
like
dad's name was Goose and I'm Rooster. I was like,
good job. Yes. Good job. Yes, I was a fan.
And I would say the only reason that is not on my list, I'm sure, is because again, it's on my other list of movies I wish I would have seen in 2022. So I haven't seen it yet, but definitely looking forward to getting an opportunity to.
All right, y'all. We have one more movie left, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, we technically did have an episode. This was another bonus episode with myself and Husto, my brother Husto, where we talked about the multiverse and we compared it to Doctor Strange. And I didn't say this then, but I'll say it now. And I'll start, and Mark, you can share more since it's your number one. It might arguably be the best multiverse story I've ever seen. And I like it, like with the multiverse being a core aspect of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a work of art. It's confusing as heck. It is silly. It is goofy. It is definitely a spectacle, but there is so much heart in this movie. It oozes heart, like in every way, shape, or form. And if you just take all that I just said aside, Michelle Yeoh is a beast. She's always been a beast, but like this movie got to show you just how much of a beast she is. She is she's still a dope martial artist. Phenomenal range as an actress. She played 7 characters, 8 characters, and gave them all depth and range. I was invested in each of her versions of herself. Like, that's not easy, bro. Like, I don't care. I don't care. That's not easy to do. And she killed it. And shout out to everybody else in the movie too, because like they all killed it. It's very close to be like, if you're okay with quirkiness and randomness and just not getting certain stuff, this might arguably be one of like a perfect movie, like for that kind of genre and range that it is. So that's my takeaway from the movie. What about you, Mark?
Nels, I agree with everything you said. This movie, it's my number one. This movie, like, made me reflect on myself as a person and as a parent. Like when I was done with everything, everywhere, all at once, I started thinking about how am I as a parent? How am I as a person? What am I doing that's going to like, what are the subconscious things that I'm doing that are going to be permanent on my children? This weird multiverse movie made from the Turn Down From What video guys, you know, where people where there is a Ratatouille raccoon scene in this movie. There's a scene in this movie where a man has a raccoon on his head and he's controlling him like Ratatouille. There is a universe,
they literally reference Ratatouille.
Yes,
they're not hiding the ball on this.
They're not.
They're literally calling like Ratatouille, like Ratatouille.
I think they call it like Raccoonatouille or something like that. Yes. Dog, there's a scene in this movie where people in a universe have sausage fingers that ejaculate. That's what it does. Ejaculate mustard and ketchup from them when they're turned on. This movie, with that silliness in it, made me rethink who I am as a person and as a parent, dog. Like,
now that you say it like that,
because
all those things happen.
It's unbelievable. I think, no bull, I think this is one of the greatest movies ever made. Yeah, it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. The acting, the characters, it's like someone took, okay, let's get Rick and Morty, a family drama, and we'll throw in some crazy. It's just, I can't believe what I'm watching, and just like the aspects of like generational trauma, and there's a lot of like, we did our best as parents. Well, I did my best. I used the tools that I had, and I raised you how I thought was best. And this silly movie, this silly martial arts multi-universe movie made me realize, so what? That's not good enough. That's not good enough. And it just like, it made me cry. It just, I feel like to my core, it shook me. And I was just like, I could not believe what I was watching. I just couldn't believe what I was watching.
For those of you who have not watched this movie, there is a scene, multiple scenes actually, where you're staring at rocks.
Yeah, and it's emotional. There is a scene in this movie where rocks have googly eyes, and there's just text above the screen as the rock's talking, and it is really emotional.
It almost brings you to tears, if not full-on cries. Rocks with googly eyes for a good 3 minutes. It's not a quick scene. It's a long scene. You're just sitting there reading captions, watching rocks, and it's Mark Jones's #1 movie this year.
Like,
Wakanda Forever didn't make his top 10, but this movie made his #1. You can have rocks talking to each other for 3 minutes, and you can be a Mark Jones #1 movie.
Don't act like that was like some. It was justified. It was justified.
That movie.
It was a great.
I just call this potentially a perfect movie, depending on what kind of genre you listed it. So, brother, you are preaching to the choir. I get it. It's a great movie.
No,
we made an episode talking about how much better this was than Doctor Strange. Yes, man.
No, I love this movie. As soon as I saw it, I wanted to see it again. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. I know that sounds cheesy, but I don't know how else to describe it. This movie is a work of art. I highly recommend it. I love what this does for like cinema. This is an independent film. And it made a lot of money. And not all, but mostly Asian. Like, just think about this. And mostly Asian cast with a middle-aged woman as the protagonist. And any other movie, Nels, because you've seen it, the daughter would have been the protagonist, but they made the mom the protagonist. Yeah,
and
man.
Jamie Lee Curtis, randomly.
Jamie Lee Curtis, who's putting in work in this movie, like getting her martial arts on big time in this movie. Like, and in short rounds in the movie, I didn't realize that the father is a Short Round from Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
like, where's this guy been?
Yeah, man. Data. What's his name? Data from the Goonies.
The Goonies.
Yeah, man.
Killing it. Like turning into a badass.
Phenomenal. He did everybody did a great job in this movie. Like, we can't even just shortcut it.
And then,
Everyone, but he did a great job.
And then like I'll wrap up here, Nels, like, because I think this movie touches on a lot of things that all of Rick and Morty is trying to touch on. Like, Rick's whole thing is like, well, if there's multiple universes, then like nothing matters. But it's like, no, things matter. The little things matter. There's a scene where the husband and wife are talking, and it's a different universe, and they're like, could you imagine if we were poor and we had a laundromat together? And I think, Nels, you might remember it better than me. The husband's like, it would have been my life's honor to do laundry with you and do taxes with you for the rest of my life. I'm like, yo, like I don't know, man. This, like, the movie just, like, it got me. It really got me.
Mark, you touched upon it. Like, not only does it touch on parenting, it touches on love and relationships. The dude, like, that line in that scene, he like described what love was.
Yeah.
And it hits you so hard. It's like the movie slaps you across the face. Like, just from that scene. Cause he's like, it's like, I think in one universe he was dying. In another universe, she had like a gun to his face. There's like a whole bunch of stuff happening in that one particular scene. And he's just like, this, like, the definition of love is like me wanting to do life with you. Yeah. Period. Like, that's it. Like, it doesn't matter if we're doing this or this. It doesn't matter where in the multiverse we are. Me doing life with you is love. Like, that's also all I want to do. It's like, wow, that's really deep. It's really good, man.
And Nels, you just made me remember one more thing. I think another thing I think that we're getting wrong in society, that we're really focusing on our self-health and like me time and self-care, but I think we're doing it wrong. We're like, nothing matters but me. Nothing matters but my time. And it's like, no, it's like, you self-care so you can go back out there and be a good person to society. And then there's the part where the dad, where he's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why everyone's fighting, but you all have to be kind. We all don't know what's going on with people. We all don't know what's happening, but you gotta be kind. I was like, that's it. This movie with sausage finger people nailed the meaning. Like, that's it, America. That's it, the world.
Life.
Yes. He's like, be kind, be nice. Be nice to each other.
Just because we don't know, man. Like, we see people like, oh, that dude's an asshole, but like, we don't know what's going on, what people are going through, what trauma they've been through. You're all responsible for your own trauma, and handling your own self. But like, we gotta just go see it. Just see this movie. See this movie. That's all I gotta
say. Yeah, man. Anyways, movie was great. So, gentlemen, we covered our top 10s. We talked about our honorable mentions. We talked about the ones we had in common. Any other ones y'all just want to like tie in a bow before we bring it on home?
I wanted to throw this out because I've sort of hinted at it a couple times. So, well, I guess if we got any more that we want to mention, we can do that or sort of expand on them. But I did want to say, are there any that you say you wish you would have seen in 2022 that you haven't? Any that I could say seen, read. Like, is there anything that you're like, this was in 2022, I haven't gotten to read it, or whatever? And we'll say like maybe like 3 at the most or something like that. But any that you're like, I didn't get to engage with this, and I wish I would have, and still haven't engaged with it.
Yeah, Shannon, there's a couple like small movies that I didn't get to see. Just off the back real quick, Tar. I heard a lot of buzz about this movie called Tar. I didn't get to watch it. After Yang, it sounded like a cool premise. It was a family who has an android. They have an adopted Asian daughter, and they have this android who's supposed to look like an Asian guy. And, it's just about racial dynamics and adoption. I heard great things about that. And then, oh my God, man, I lost the last one. Shoot.
Yeah, I haven't caught up on The Boys. I would have loved to have seen what's going on with The Boys. Prey, y'all already talked about Prey. Still wish I could have saw it. Yeah, and I think that's it. I've done some work this year. Like,
This was a good year. This was a good year,
Yeah.
like for movies and TV. Real quick, I remember what it was. It was X, the horror movie X.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
into
another
things.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did
wish
not get to
saw
see
that.
it, but I heard good things about it.
Yeah, me too. That's Husto's top horror movie this year.
Okay,
So,
that means I need to watch it.
yeah, exactly. Need to watch that too.
It's funny, like for me, mine are all movies that you all have referenced. So Everything Everywhere All at Once, Woman King, Top Gun, Maverick. Those are like the first three that come to mind. Just for whatever reason, I didn't have the opportunity to see them during 2022. Still haven't seen them, but definitely want to.
I will, Shannon. I watched all those movies with Shamel.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were all date movies, and I was like, "Yo, every time we go to a movie, it is a dope movie.
yeah.
You gotta
This
keep
is
this
a
up.
great streak." Yeah,
I feel like
Pressure.
as a parent, that's like what we have to is like when we go on that, when we finally get to go on that date, because we got a babysitter or whatever, we got to go all out. We seeing a great movie. We not just being like, let's just see what's in the theater. Well, let's watch anything. No, we going all out. So yeah,
Nels,
Exactly.
maybe if you and Shamel came with me to see Wakanda Forever, it would have made my list.
don't put this on us. All right, my household had nothing to do. What's going on with
don't
you
you
over
put that
there?
on me, Ricky Bobby?
Don't you put that on me? Yeah, no, that's the RYs had no part to play in your viewing.
Nah, I feel you.
Ah,
Yo, the only thing I want to like shout out from my list that I really, really enjoyed this year was Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie on Netflix. Dog. Nels, we've talked about how we didn't give Rise a chance and we should have. Same thing with this movie. Like, this movie goes hard. That's all I'm going to say. It might be the best animated movie that came out this year.
ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah. Fat Joe's book, I got the audiobook. I could not stop listening to it, dog. If Fat Joe just has that energy of someone who just, you're at their house around the table and he's just telling stories. He has the energy of someone who says stuff that's funny, but he's not trying to be funny. He's just telling it like he remembers it, and you're dying, laughing, and
Like Charlie Murphy, the Charlie Murphy effect.
Yes. And I gotta give this dude props. I'm like, yo, Joe's been around for a minute, and like every couple years, this man drops a number one. Like every couple years, he drops a number one banger. So like, I gotta give him props. And the book, he goes back in the day and talks about hip hop, but he has put on like maybe not your favorite artist, but like your favorite artists. Like he's put on a lot of people who have like if you did like the Fat Joe like web or like tree of life of hip hop, this man's like been in a lot of people's careers. So like I had to show some respect. And then last man, Barry, dog. Barry season 3. I'm not gonna go into the show. I think it's great, but after watching Barry season 3, I will blind watch anything Bill Hader directs. I don't need a trailer. I don't need a synopsis. If he's directing it, I will blind watch it after watching Barry season 3.
Nice. Is he was so he didn't just star in it, he directed it too?
He directs like he doesn't direct all episodes, but he directs like, a couple of them. But the ones he did this season were like, it blew me away. So like I will blind watch anything he does at this point.
Dope.
Nice.
Dope. Awesome. All right, y'all. Anything else?
Yeah, I just mentioned one. This was my number 10, but we mentioned it. The Untold: The Rise and Fall of An One. I was going to say again,
Yes,
if you get a
yeah.
chance to see
That's
that,
another
like,
one of mine.
Yeah.
That's another one of mine.
It's
Like, it
so
brought-
Nels, it's so good.
Yeah, like it brought back, of course, so many memories of being in like middle school, high school, and everybody like what An One was. Everybody's trying to do all the tricks and stuff, but how that was such a movement, and then even sort of like that sad part of it of like, bro, like these dudes were out there balling, and we would have been like, they are the most popular people, like their faces is on everything, and they were hardly getting paid. Like they were getting paid like nothing.
Yeah.
Hardly.
So it was like Hot Sauce,
Yeah.
and I think maybe AO or I forgot, but like hot sauce was like making money, and everyone else was like scrapping by.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
All of them,
Yeah,
they were
Pretty much.
so popular. They're so famous.
Yeah.
Did White Chocolate get paid?
I don't know if white chocolate was and one. The professor was no, it
Oh,
was
not White Chocolate.
hot.
No, yeah, White Chocolate and the
No.
Professor.
Well, white chocolate's not in the documentary. I think he was one of those like NYC. You remember like MTV had its
Yeah.
own thing. I think white chocolate was on
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
Yeah.
But the Professor, did he get paid?
Yeah, no, yeah. So it was basically like hot sauce and the professor. Like those were like the only two making bread, and everyone
Wow.
else was like,
And the
you know,
Professor was like new.
Yeah.
yeah,
Ooh.
And, it,
yeah.
and
And
it's
then-
like a lesson. It shows you like it's a lesson to be like, don't just assume that I don't know, I'm good at this thing, so I'm gonna make the money or this or that. But
Yeah.
like it shows like make sure you know you're set up well and everything like that. And then also I'm even thinking about and one itself. Like if you create something, like how other companies like and one was this little unknown company, and then somebody like Nike, they had Nike worried. Like Nike's trying
Dog,
to down. Like Nike? What?
Nike changed up their whole like marketing campaign because of and one. I won't go into detail because that's part of the documentary. But like, it was like and one Nike, and then like Reebok and like everyone like and one was coming for Nike, and Nike was shook.
Wow. You guys are selling this. I can't wait to watch it. Oh man.
And then if I can say just one more thing about it, it just mentioned it also hits on almost like how depressing it is. Like say if you are in that position where the big company comes for you, how you can see how you've lost right then. And you're like, dang, well, because they mentioned a moment in there was one thing that Nike did.
Yep,
and once
I
Nike
remember
did it,
this
they were
shit,
like,
man.
well,
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no less fight. They're like, we lost. They did that. They got the money.
Nike, and they I think they mentioned that they should have did it before Nike did it, but
Mhm.
Nike did it, and they're like, well then, hey guys, it was a good run, wasn't it? Like,
they definitively knew it was. I cannot wait. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
can I ask y'all something? Because the movie made me like think back. Like I always like I had the tapes. I had plenty of and one shirts and shorts. I never could break myself to buying and one shoes. But according to this movie, everyone and their mama had and one shoes. Like, do y'all remember that? I don't remember people having the shoes.
I had and one shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one shoes.
My entire I'm trying to think if it was either 8th grade or 9th grade, but anyway, my entire basketball team, that was the team shoe. It was I remember they had these and ones that were like this blue sort of suede feel thing on the inner, I don't know what the inner sole, whatever it was. But anyway, they were like blue and white. There were these and ones, and that was the team shoe. And everybody was like, yes, that's what we want. You know, it wasn't like, oh, well, this is the best we can do. No, they were like, yes, that's what we want. Everybody, yeah. Our coach is down because like we got the coolest coach because he down with it. Like, yeah, like that was our team shoe one year.
Nice.
It's awesome. Yeah,
No.
and they were comfortable. I don't know what to tell you. They weren't no Nikes though. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be clear. Let's be clear. These weren't Nikes. These were not J's in any way, shape, or form.
They were good. They were good.
They were better than Payless, but they weren't as good as Nike. Somewhere in the middle. Maybe it's like here or there, depending on a Reebok. Sometimes it's better than a Reebok. Sometimes it was worse than a Reebok, but it was not Nikes. So
Can I ask y'all, do y'all have anything that you're excited for 2023 that's coming out?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
and Super Mario.
Yes, dude. I'm glad you said that, Nels. I can't believe how good those trailers look. I'm convinced
I
that
can,
movie's gonna make $1 billion.
I can. And do you know why I can, Mark? Because Nintendo is petty as hell. When we saw, I said this in the Sonic episode. I said, look, Sonic made way too much money for Nintendo to just be like, cool with it. Nintendo ain't built like that. They are so petty. They're like,
Yeah.
you get 9, I'm getting 20. So
Yeah.
they're just like, they're not built like that. So when that came out, I was like, this Super Mario movie is gonna be bananas. And yeah, that trailer looks amazing. This movie's gonna be so good. And it's ridiculous that you can just see like the second trailer and already know that it's gonna be a great movie. That's funny, man.
Yeah, no, that when the second trailer ends and they're doing the homage to Mario Kart, and you just see everyone in their cart, I was like, the little fry, shut up and here's my money. Like, just tell me when to be there, Nintendo.
Like, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Here
fine.
we go. What about y'all?
I agree with everything you said, man. I'm sure there's some. Oh, Mission Impossible. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Really hyped for that.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of those. And actually, one that looking forward to it, it literally dropped today. It's not a movie, but a show, The Last of Us. Because again,
The video game.
Yeah, from the video game. And so now they have put the show on HBO Max. And from what I'm hearing, like I was, looking at like reviews and stuff earlier, people are like, it is a hit. Like they did it right. Like that's what I'm hearing. So it literally dropped today. So I'm going to probably watch it sometime tomorrow.
Nice.
Cool. All right, y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. We have a new episode every month. You can find us on all social media at Pop Cult Parent, POPCULTPARENT. Visit us at www.popcultparent.com. Email us at popcultparent@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate us, review, and subscribe. And as always, join the cult. Peace.